Proved to be quick. Monday night, Governor Andrew Cuomo and lawmakers agreed to a broad legislative package that would expand the state's assault weapons ban and strengthen efforts to keep guns out of the hands of the mentally ill. The Republican-controlled state Senate passed the bill last night, and the Assembly, controlled by Democrats, is expected to pass it overwhelmingly today. Metro Politics editor Michael Paulson's been overseeing coverage of this story. So, Michael, let's start with what's in this package, at least the key points, because there's a lot in it, right?
There is. It's a pretty broad package. The biggest piece of it is that it expands the state's ban on assault weapons. New York already bans assault weapons, but the measure is riddled with loopholes. Now there's a much broader definition that will cover many more guns. It's also going to restrict high-capacity magazines. It will be the nation's toughest restriction on the size of magazines that people can use for their rifles. It also increases penalties for gun crimes. It's going to require background checks for all sales of ammunition, and it's going to allow law enforcement to track large purchases of ammunition. And finally, it's going to require that mental health professionals report when someone they're treating appears to be dangerous, either to themselves or to others, so that law enforcement can check whether that person owns a weapon and theoretically could confiscate the weapon.
Michael, this did get through remarkably quickly. It has not obviously passed yet, but it's expected to, and the governor will sign it, I assume, later today. So yesterday was the first full day of legislative business. How did this get through so fast, especially since Republicans in the state Senate have historically opposed or at least resisted this kind of legislation? Did they just give up on this one?
This is part of the Andrew Cuomo playbook. We've seen this a few times during his tenure as governor. He believes in striking while the iron is hot, and he's also he's a master arm twister. He does not believe that it serves him or the state to allow time for opposition to develop. So when he's ready to do something, he demands that it be done immediately. But the other thing that you're seeing here is the increasingly weakened state of Republicans in New York. The party has been losing registration overall statewide for some time, and this year, for the first time in recent history, it does not control the state Senate. It's in a coalition government. It's got a alliance with a small group of dissident Democrats controlling the Senate, and so Republicans have less of an ability to influence the outcome.
As you already noted, New York already had some very tough gun control laws, and that has not stopped a huge flow of weapons into the state. So how much does legislation like this actually do in the absence of some larger federal legislation?
I mean, that's a really important question. Governor Cuomo said right after Newtown, the solution really is federal legislation, because New York does have restrictions, and a lot of guns that are used in the commission of crimes here come from other states. But having said that, the assault weapons here had many loopholes, did not cover a lot of weapons that most people consider to be assault weapons. It felt important to gun control advocates, to many Democrats, and to the governor that New York do what it could do to fix what's going on here while still calling for federal action.